Hello gorgeous soul, I'm Ruthie Baker of Be Psychic Free, and today I'd like you to think about anxiety and to imagine a concept that may seem strange to you. So here goes. Who would you be without the feeling of anxiety? It may seem peculiar, but it's also interesting how people have unwanted feelings and emotions, and yet they hold on to them. They even label themselves as a particular feeling or emotion. Oh, I'm an anxious person. Here's the thing. If you say that enough times to your subconscious, guess what? It will believe that it must be true and will do its utmost to make sure that what you tell it is true for you. But it's just a story you tell yourself over and over again about who and what you are. It isn't necessarily the truth set in stone. So who would you be without the feeling of anxiety? What would life feel like for you? Now think about what anxiety is. It's a set of thoughts, actions and behaviours which put together form the feeling we think of as anxiety. For instance, perhaps someone says something to a person and that person goes inside their mind to search for information from their neck-top computer. They examine the data stored inside their mind and decide that what has been said to them isn't good. They label it as not good. Then they churn that thought over and over in their mind and add other negative thoughts and memories. Perhaps they even begin to add imagined scenarios from the future that look like a scary movie. Maybe they then pace up and down the room. They start to breathe fast and shallow, and then they begin to feel dizzy. Once they reach the dizzy stage, they begin to notice an icky feeling rising up from their stomach. The process of thoughts and habitual behaviours that make up anxiety for that person go through a set routine, one that is so practiced that it becomes automatic. So here's a question for you to consider. How do you do anxiety? What thoughts do you think? What do you say to yourself? What actions do you take? And here's another weird and wonderful exercise for you. I want you to imagine a friendly alien from another planet landed on Earth. Imagine he wants to learn from us how to live a good life. What would he make of anxiety? Especially when the alien realises how horrid we allow anxiety to make us feel. Do you think the alien would want to stick around to learn more? Or do you think he would run back to his spaceship as fast as possible? What would the alien make of the world inside your mind that you create for yourself? If you find yourself affected by what others say and do, here's a great technique to train your mind to care less about that. Just imagine that, before the alien left Earth, that he dropped off a special protective spacesuit for you. It fits you perfectly. It's called the Bounce Back Spacesuit. Picture or imagine the Bounce Back Spacesuit in your mind. Notice that the material is so reflective that from the outside it appears to be a mirror. Imagine how comfortable, soft and warm the suit is from the inside. Notice how it reflects back everything around it. This is a special spacesuit because it's one you can wear whenever you're surrounded by people who tend to upset or have a negative impact on you. It will simply reflect and deflect whatever they say or do back to them, and you will be safe and calm within the suit. Imagine that the suit has a special energy barrier around it that only you can see. Make the special energy barrier your favourite colour and be aware of the shimmering energy surrounding you, that it's like a protective force field, one that adds another strong layer of protection around you. Notice how you can expand the special energy barrier, how you can widen it to keep others out of your personal space. Practice this technique regularly. Journal your results and note the effect it has, and see how you are less affected by others over time. You see, it's helpful to see yourself, your fears and worries, through the eyes of another. So practice seeing yourself from the perspective of the friendly alien. When we see ourselves through the eyes of another, we gain a different perspective. That other perspective helps us to lessen the intensity of the emotion or anxiety that we feel. In other words, when we step out of ourselves, we begin to calm down. With a calm mind, we can then become curious about what the anxiety is trying to teach us. What is the lesson we need to learn about anxiety? In your journal, write down what you think the purpose of your anxiety is and what the lesson it is trying to teach you is all about. Journal and remember to suit up in your bounce back spacesuit. See you in the next lesson.